Hello, Internet. I'm Matt Haas. You're on the Awesome Wood Things channel, and this is another Learn Adobe Now session. Welcome. Got a lot of fun things planned. I'm glad you're here. Get ready for some free Adobe Illustrator lessons and tips and tricks and all that fun stuff. Just a quick reminder, after this live show ends and this becomes a recorded session that you can watch anytime, it will go unlisted on my channel. You can follow the social links that brought you here or bookmark it, and you'll be able to watch a replay of this or go back to the beginning if you weren't here at the beginning. Or you can join Patreon on the Awesome Wood Things Patreon, and you'll have access to this whole catalog in that space. Just $1 or more. Patrons can get access to all of the recordings of these live Learn Adobe Now Hangouts. So that's cool. I've got 3 patrons now. Appreciate the patrons. We've got Mike Laffey, Javier Unzuela, and Polly Wants a Crafter. So that's a lot of fun. Jerry Brown is the Polly Wants a Crafter. So I appreciate my patrons, and they love what I'm doing, and they want to see me do more of it, which is awesome. There was no show last week. I was on a family vacation. Maybe you can see a little bit of red, maybe not. But I tried to manage the sun. Don't do well in the sun. Yeah, we were at the beach, and it was fun, fun, fun. So what I thought we would do is pop in and take a look at what I was working on recently. So here is my Freddie Mercury from Queen artwork I was working on. Whoa, looks like Frankie's CNC Woodworking channel just stopped in. Says hello. Hello, Frankie. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to render a piece of artwork and show you some tips and tricks along the way. Should be a fun time. Glad you're here. CNC work, hey, who doesn't need line art when you're dealing with a CNC machine? They love line art, and Adobe Illustrator is all about the line art. So Frankie, check this out. Here is my Freddie Mercury project that I was working on. And I think I'm just going to scrap everything that is done here. I did a couple techniques last time where I used straight up pen tool and some of the drawing tools to kind of get this going. And wanted to see which one was better, but I'm really not happy with any of them. Make Things with Rob is here. He says, "Hey, buddy." Hi, buddy. How you doing? I'm going to work on my Freddie Mercury artwork. And now here's the deal with this artwork. I want a silhouette. I want a silhouette because I want to put it on the vinyl cutter. So we start in Illustrator with that. The tracing tools, not working. I do go into Photoshop and I do some adjustments with Photoshop to kind of get it all black or all white. With this particular photo, it's just not working. So I'm going to do it by hand. Yes, by hand. No Photoshop, no auto tracing, just doing it all by hand. Make Things with Rob says, "How's life been treating you?" Very good. I just got back from a family beach vacation, and my nose is like 5% more red than it used to be. I wear hats and lots of suntan lotion. We were at the beach. Life's been good. Hope life's been treating you very good as well. We're glad you're here to learn some Illustrator tips and tricks. And as always, it is for free because that's the way I roll. All right, so I think I'm just going to get rid of everything. Let me make a new file. What's vacation? I know, right? um, one of there's a someone I really look up to. Well, I think a lot of people look up to this person, Gary Vaynerchuk. Don't know if you're familiar with him, but speaking of um, the fun comment, "What's vacation?" Uh, his his saying is, "If you live for vacations and the weekend, your stuff is broken." But he didn't say stuff. He actually said the bad word. And that's so right. And that's the way I designed my life and my career and my side jobs is I do things I love. So when I'm on vacation, I'm just away from the things I love to do. And that's the way I look at it. So I get kind of anxious. Look, I got a new light in the studio. What do you think? Better one or better two? Better one, better two. I don't know. Trying to make incremental improvements as I go, um, make things better for you, my line art enthusiasts. What am I doing over here? Okay. Better one. Yeah, I think so too. Thanks, Rob. All right, so now I've got a new file. I'm just going to delete everything. I only want to work off the colored one over here. Get rid of that. Do I have anything locked? Yes, I have stuff locked. Too pale's your face. Yeah, I think so too. Well, I mean, here's what I was concerned about. Um, See, I have a light overhead, and if I put a light right here, you can see the reflection in the glasses. But look at this. Look at that hard shadow. I don't like that. Now my other glasses are thinner glasses, and you can't see that line as much. But these work better for the computer. They've got a different prescription, and I'm trying to kind of trying to make that less noticeable. So, 2, 1, 2, a what? I don't know. Tech stuff's here, or TEC, tech stuff. Hi, it's again midnight in my country. Oh, I'm glad you're here, tech stuff. We're going to learn about some Illustrator. I can see what you mean. Yeah. Yeah. The struggle is real with live streams and trying to get the best picture. Okay. You are screen sharing and presenting to everyone. Okay. So what I'm going to do is take my photo of Freddie Mercury, lock it, object lock selection, or Command 2 or Control 2. Now I can't select it. And what I'm going to do is make a silhouette of Freddie Mercury manually. No Photoshop work, no auto tracing, just manual, because the way the internet has done this is I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me undo. See, now here's the problem with now this was one I pulled from the internet. I don't like the eye here, and you look at the belt. So the belt has, the grommets and the buckle, and look at that. That's not good. And I also didn't like um, just how some of these details just don't show up, like this little um, piece of the buckle here, and I like how you can see the stripes here of the Adidas sneakers, and there's 2 stripes over here, but you really can't tell that way. So the face needs a lot of work, and the knuckles, I think the knuckles could look a little better. That could look like a real fist, even more so than it does. Have you thought about attaching mini lights under your glasses? No, I have not. I have not thought about that. But I will try anything. So I'm just going to shove this off to the side because that's what I don't want. And this is what I do want. So I did a couple undos. I'm going to relock this here. Now, I think what I'm going to do is break out my Wacom tablet because I bought this large Wacom tablet and use this as we go. So I am going to break out the blob tool. I love this tool, blob tool. Oh, you know what? I have to get my little widget going here. Whoops. Is it working? Okay, so let's see here. Where's my blob tool? There it is. Okay, so if we go Control 1. Oh, didn't do it. Let me quit that little widget. Quit. Launch it again. What is this? I hate freeware. Not working the way I want. Should be able to hold this flyout panel here. And then Control 1. Nope, it hides it. Anyway, it's under the brush. That's what I wanted to show you. Under the brush tool is the blob tool. So that is here. And what does the blob tool do? It just makes a solid shape. So you can even have like a hole in the middle. And once you're done, pull up the direct selection tool. Look, it's just an outline of the shape. So it's not a line in the respect where the stroke grows from the center. So the difference is the paintbrush tool. Let me show you the paintbrush tool. So here's the paintbrush tool. And look at this one. So, whoop, maybe that's still the blob tool. Oh, it was still the blob tool. Sorry, paintbrush tool. So here's the paintbrush tool. And the paintbrush tool has a path and then the stroke width grows from the center out. That's not what I want. I want the blob tool because I think that's going to be a better shape. Okay, Make Things with Rob is going to stay on the chat, but he's going to take care of something real quick. That's all good. All right, so we've got the blob tool here. And I want to get my brush a little smaller. So let's see here. We'll go down. And we want the size to be pressure. Let me try that. So now it should go thin, thick, and thin again. And when I'm done, it should be a blob. Yes, that's what I want. Very good. Now, the goal is to figure out what is in shadow and what is not in shadow and make the best silhouette ever. Way better than this thing here because I don't like that thing. So let's begin, shall we? First thing I'm going to do is make these awesome Adidas sneakers. And what I'll do is I'll check this reference over here. See, look at that. That's not a lot to go on. we'll give it a go. All right, here we go. Oop, too much. Not bad, not bad. Gonna align these. Path, average, horizontal. There we go. Now they're all aligned. There we go. Now these Adidas, I think I'm just going to switch right to the pen tool. I got an idea here. So I want these stripes to be perfect. Give those a thickness. And now I want to all right, this is my plan. You might be asking, what am I doing? All right, I'm going to take these lines and I'm going to outline path or outline stroke. Now they're squares or rectangles, more accurately. And now I'm going to call up the Pathfinder and we'll cut these like that. And I'll only keep what I want. So I'm deselecting pieces I want here. Then hit the delete key. Now I can join, 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 and color it in. Now look at that. So now look at these stripes. They've all got the same angle this way. Okay, looks good. They've all got the same angle that way. Looks good. And that looks way better than this. That's what I'm going for. All right, so now let's go back to the blob tool. And we'll do this a little bit more. So let's go real, I'll go real light. Maybe even lighter. I have to take this, pull that down a bit. Wow, that's real sensitive. Try this again. Holy cow. I'm barely touching it. There we go. That's what I want. That's what I want. Okay, now this whole thing's in shadow here. This pant area. Very nice. I'm going to pull this closer here. There we go. Just to kind of see what I'm doing. All right, so you see how this crease happens here? Like I want to follow that crease, I think. I'm going to try that. And again, I'm using the Wacom tablet. Oh, I can tell already this is going to be awesome. Now, see this part I want to be white. So I want it to come down here and then be white. This might be tricky. Let me think here. Remove those. Well, that's a start. Let me get rid of these paths here. Join. Oh, yeah, look at that. It's almost like I know what I'm doing. Oh, wow, that's weird. Oh, my snaps are gone. I turned my snaps back on. Snap to point. There we go. Yeah, there we go. So I like how when you pull these handles in, they'll just magnetically fall into the anchor point. These handles, these direction handles. Boop. See how it even turns white? The cursor. Yeah, that's what I like. Hey, Steve's here from Harneo Media. Welcome. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. Steve says he's late. It's all good. There's no prescribed time to join. You can join the fun at any time. I am manually drawing a silhouette of Freddie Mercury. I'm using the thank you. uh, People are blessing me for my sneeze. Appreciate that. Yeah, so I just don't like the way that the internet's version of the silhouette came out. So I'm making my own. And I'm using my Wacom tablet. I'm just trying to pencil in the areas that will be 100% black. There we go. You know, maybe I shouldn't use the blob tool. I think I'm going to change the paintbrush. Well, I'll do that in a second. So what I want to do is get this inside shape all dark. And by dark, I mean pink because I like to work in pink. So let me do that. All right, folks, just wanted to get that out of the way. What I'm trying to do is get rid of this inside shape. See this inside one? I just want it gone. Let's see if it'll let me do it. Kind of fighting me on it. It will not win. I will prevail. This is the way you got to think when you're dealing with applications like this. Did I delete the wrong one? Who's going to win? Illustrator or me? I'd put my money on me. My dog is snoring. Can you hear my dog snoring? She is sawing some logs. Oh, I see. Look at that right there. That's not connected. Hmm. Gotta be an easier way to do this, but I'm committed now. How long have you had your Mac? That's what Make Things with Rob has asked. Well, it depends. I think the current one I'm on, I got 3 years ago almost. Um, yeah, MacBook Pro 15-inch. I have a 5-year-old MacBook Air. You know, just kind of. I would say three years. Macs last a long time. Um, that's what I like about that hardware is you take care of them, though. They'll just keep working and working and lasting because I like to um, get stuff done. Oh, it's not connected there. Are you kidding me? I'm getting fed up with Windows, but I know the Macs can be pricey. Yeah, I think they get a bad rap. Um, if you buy the same components, it's the same price. It's not any more expensive than a Windows. I mean, if you had the same graphics card, you had the um, same processor, same premium memory. I'm 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 of the mind that oh, what's going on here? Yeah. Hey, Jim Dockrell's here. Hello, Jim. I am manually making a silhouette of Freddie Mercury because I do not like the silhouettes on the internet. They are not up to my standards. Oh no. Let's see what's going now. You know what? I'm just gonna. I am just. Oh, I see what I want to do. Yeah, this is good. Boy, I've really got myself into a corner here, folks. But I have a way out. Join. What is this guy doing here? Why does this line exist? How did that even get there? Hello? Well, that's strange. Get rid of him. Delete anchor point. Boom. I don't like that. There we go. Whew. That was way too much. True. Mine wasn't top of the class when I bought it last year. This thing will make videos, but the Windows kernel needs a constant restart for every little thing I do. Oh, man. Windows kernel. Brother, I feel you. Yeah, I mean, the thing with Windows is they seem to get slower and slower over time, and you can't get them back. If you've got the install disks, you could wipe the whole thing clean, reinstall Windows from a fresh, good known source, and then you're back in action. But the way they sell this is the operating system's bundled on, and then you're all hosed off. You're all hosed up. If something goes bad, you can't get out of it. Um, so that's what I like. I like to have a good, known, and safe install of the Windows operating system. Another way to run Windows is run them in a virtual space. So, um, because you can have the restore points, but the thing is, viruses get in there and they wreck your machine, and they go into the restore points and they wreck the restore points. So even Microsoft's built-in safety net doesn't work all the time. So I like to run Windows in emulation. Now on the Mac, you can buy a Mac and have it only run Windows. You can hit a button and it can say, "Do you want to be a Mac today, or do you want to be a Windows today?" And it'll boot. So you could do that, or if you run it in emulation through things like Parallels, the entire Windows system is one file on the Macintosh, just one. Now it'll be a 4 gigabyte file. I mean, it'd be a large file. Um, Not gigabytes, but it'll be a large in the size of the whole operating system. And then you could just back that one file up, external drive, and then, take the drive off the network. And then you have a problem, you just reinstall that one file. That's the best way to run Windows, because then you can, download freeware and shareware, and oh, something goes crazy, you just throw out your one file and you go back to 2 weeks ago when you copied the whole thing. But that you have to have a Mac and you have to have Parallels. So you need an $80 program to run Parallels, and then you're running the Windows operating system inside of the Mac operating system. You don't have all of the resources of the full hardware. Or you can do the smart boot on Mac and do. So that's kind of how I like to. iOS has its own problems. If I were smart, I would learn Linux. Well, um, iOS is not too far from Linux. It's Unix under the hood, or Linux under the hood, essentially. Um, they just, you know, anyway. But yeah, yeah. I just, I'm smart with the Mac. I don't do nefarious things on the operating system. I use good practices as far as being a netizen citizen on the net. Um, and then, if I ever have a problem, I back up my files, wipe the whole thing clean, and then just move my documents back on like I would with Windows. If but I use both. I'm what do they call it? I go both ways with my operating systems. I have Macs I do my creative work on, and Windows I do some niche stuff. There's some applications I have to use or I choose to use that are only Windows. Let's see what this is. Because I have to restart my computer all the time. I get stuck with updates I can't get out of. All of a sudden, a simple video takes for dude, see, I hate that. I hate when it gets in the way. Technology should serve you, not the other way around. So, yeah. Now, the Macs have updates too, but they're not as, they're a little, I don't know what the word is. Sometimes they happen in the background and they're usually not that bad. I used to run Linux, but you'll spend more time trying to find a way to get things to work than actually doing the work. There is no choice with Windows. Yeah, it's tough. But when I was in college, I went to college for design, and they had Macintosh Lab back when it was the 2C, like the 9-inch gray screen, all black and white screen. And the floppy drive, we had high density floppy drives, not the single density. We had the 1.2 megabyte floppies. It was the stuff, man. Let me tell you. So I've been on Macs ever since. I have an iPhone. I rarely have problems with the OS. It reminds me a lot of using Linux. Yeah. iPhone is the flagship product of Apple. So much so that people are complaining they are not keeping up with the Mac itself. Because I mean, think about it. If half your income's coming through one product, why would you tinker around um with anything else, really? So they better not hurt the Macintosh itself. I'm on the delete anchor point tool. I'm switching over to the pen tool. I think I want the pen tool now. I remember that stuff. Yeah, man, I had that 9-inch. We had Adobe Illustrator. It was 88. Do you remember that? One year, Adobe chose the version number of their software would be identical to the year. That's a huge mistake. What the heck just happened here? Did you see that? Oh man. I must have some weird stroke happening here. Yeah, I've got some weird stroke effect happening. I hadn't thought of that. They should invest a little more in that trillion number I keep seeing in their Max. Yeah. Yeah, that was the world news is Apple became the first trillion-dollar American company. Pretty big deal apparently. Um but what was I saying? So yeah, they better not take their eye off the ball when it comes to the Macintosh operating system. And some people are saying Macs might turn into iOS. Like they want to get rid of the Mac operating system and go to uh, a phone based processor in their and essentially turn the Mac into a iPad. Oh, that's not gonna fly. Yeah. Um, I hope they don't do that. But they're printing their own money. That's the thing. Apple is very wealthy. I had stock, but I sold it. Made me mad. I don't know. I saw the tide changing with Android, and I'm like, you know what? I don't think I don't think that I see problems for iPhones. But then again, iPhone is the number one phone. Oh no, I'm sorry, it's the number three phone. Samsung, Yahweh, and then Apple as far as units sold in the last year, I think, or maybe it was the last quarter. But guess who has the profit margin? Apple. They've got the highest amount of profit per unit, where everyone else is basically giving them away. I can see that if they get bigger user base with their tablets than their Macs, I see them dumbing down those Macs to keep things fluid. I don't have a cell phone at all. The rates are great. Um, yeah, it's funny that as you watch Apple unleash their products, each one destroys the next. I mean, they've destroyed the iPod. They killed their own product, the iPod, because the iPhone took it over. And as they keep rolling out new products, it keeps destroying the back catalog because, you know, with the watch and the iPhone and the iPad's supposed to get rid of your computer. Okay, well then the phone's supposed to get rid of your iPad, and then the watch is supposed to get rid of your phone. It's just that's a very interesting point, Matt. You're right. Anyway, I follow the world tech news just for funsies. Like so not only am I hooked into like YouTube and the YouTube corporate decisions, but also Google as a whole. And I find it fascinating how they run their companies and the decisions they make and the reasons behind the decisions they make. It's a lot of fun. I cannot figure out why I've got. Oh, here we go. It's got to be this. What is that? Denim seam? How did I pick that? That's crazy. There we go. Okay, try that. All right, that's what it was. It was that denim seam. Except they say that it all works with each other, that none of their products compete with each other. No, no. That if they said their products don't compete with each other, that's not a true statement, and they know that that's not a true statement. That's probably their marketing push, but believe me, they're very well aware that the $1,000 iPad is cannibalizing their $1,500 MacBook Pro. They understand that completely. They understood what the iPhone would do to the iPod, and they understood that they get it. They get it. It's their goal to keep making more and more disposable products that are their primary breadwinners. And the App Store itself, the App Store, the App Store is printing money, printing money. If you look at the spreadsheet of the income, it's crazy. It's crazy. I mean, they were a hardware company. They were listed as a hardware company. No, it's the App Store because they get a percent of everything sold. Everything sold is making bank. And that's all they see. They see this as the cash cow, and they see the phones as a nice little supplement, and they're trying to beef up The if Apple had its way, it would be phones, iPhones, and iPads. That'd be everything, and everything goes through the App Store. They would just keep printing and printing and printing money. But now this last developer conference they had, they were all, oh, we're for the professional, and we've got this brand new. They just redid their computer line, and yeah, so now they're doing they say we're in for, we love the professionals. Why do they make disposable products from materials that will never disappear? I have an answer for that. I don't like this line, though. I'm going to change this again. Why do they make products that are okay? They want them disposable because they want them thin. They're obsessed with thin, and they're obsessed with small. So in order to get things as thin as possible, they have to remove bulky things like screws and nuts, and just the things that hold things together are an annoyance to the engineers at Apple and the leadership at Apple. So they use adhesive. I mean, that's why, you go to tear an iPhone apart, you've got the heat gun out, melting the glue, and you're prying things. It's just a mess. They're not meant to come apart. And they would rather you buy another one than service your old one. So there's the whole, that type of thing. And, materials that will never disappear. I mean, that's a whole other green sustainability type thing. And, they say they're using better materials and whatnot, but, these are electronics. They have rare earth elements. So, electronics are nasty stuff because they don't care. But then they turn around and talk about how they're environmentally friendly by using alternative energy. Well, you could say the same for any tech company. It's easy to kind of slant, like get on, I try and look at things with the big picture. I mean, what tech company really is making environmentally friendly tech? It's technology. I mean, you need silicone, you need metals, you need all kinds of nasty material to make this stuff work. And so, yeah, no one's doing a good job as far as I'm concerned with that. Get my brushes out here. Brushes. I want this to be, I don't want it to be as smooth. That's what I'm trying to do, is get rid of the smoothness. I'm not picking on Apple really, but it's all the same game. Yeah. For all of Apple's problems, they do have one very strong policy that can't be ignored for how good it actually is. And what I'm talking about is privacy. Like, if there's a problem with user data, they won't give it to you. They are straight up hardcore. Like, people feel very safe with their data on Apple services, let's say, not products, but services. So, like, how many times did law enforcement want a backdoor into the iPhone? They straight up said, we're not doing it. And they didn't. They don't turn it over. Microsoft, on the other hand, they're like, all right, here you go. Here, take all the data. They just turn it right over. So, security, Apple's got, say what you will about Apple, they've got the security untouched. And they've got the policy and the gumption, and, American government screaming down their back. They're like, no, we're not doing it. You can't make us do it. Because, at the time, in order to give the government access to one phone, they had to give the government access to all phones the way they engineered it. And that I mean, you can't argue that. That's a good a good thing. Privacy. That doesn't exist very much in today's day and age, but it does with Apple. Google, Google, I trust Google too, with keeping data private. But Apple Apple has demonstrated with action much better than any other company that your stuff is secure. Wholeheartedly agree. I stand by that completely. My question was industry slash worldwide also, not just Apple everything. Yeah. Yeah. I think Jim's talking about the sustainability stuff. Um, no, you're right. You're right. I could cry when I see what's happening to the world with the junk they're putting everywhere. But I mean, electronics, they're just nasty things to begin with, as far as what they're made out of. All right, so this join, join, join. So now I switch to the paintbrush tool here. Should be able to fill that. Yep, look at that. So this is going to be one of the stripes here on Freddy's. Yeah, dinner time. Wife will skin my hide. I'm leaving this on. Oh, thank you. Make things with Rob. Appreciate that. Give me some views here. All good. I believe I heard the new Apple OS is designed specifically so your phone cannot be searched, or at least that's a feature. I will say this before I leave. There are earth metals are doing real damage to third world countries that mine them. Mining rare earth metals are extremely hazardous and doing a lot of damage. Yeah, yeah. Well, the thing about rare earth metals is um, they're not so rare in the asteroid belt. So I forget who it was. One first world country may have been China. They're thinking about sending stuff out to the asteroid belt and towing one back into Earth orbit and then mining it for the platinum and all the other rare earth metals. Yeah, that should solve itself once we become a multiple planet species, because things aren't so rare in the universe. Things are very plentiful. Um, but JP's here from JP Woodwork. Hi, Jamie. Oh, I thought I was sharing. I'm not sharing. I'm drawing Freddie Mercury by hand as a silhouette because I want to do some artwork. And all of the silhouettes I found on the internet, like this one, just aren't up to my standards. So I'm making him all on my own using my Wacom tablet. The lovely and talented JP. How are you? Says Jim Dockrell. Yes, JP Woodwork. Love me some JP. Jamie Page. Jamie, you have the same last name as one of the founders of Google, Larry Page. Are you any relation to Larry Page, co-founder of Google? That would be cool if you were. Tell him I want to talk to him. I have some suggestions. Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Who's running Google and who's running the X, the Google X? I think Sergey is taking the Google the experimental shop where they're doing the self-driving cars, and I think Sergey's taking that, and Larry is running the front end business with who's the CEO? Ajit Pai? No, oh, forget. He says, not sure, have to research it. Ooh, Jim Dockrell's eating wings. Slow to clean the fingers and respond. Jim, how hot are the wings that you're eating on a scale of 1 to blow my brains out? And just full disclosure, I used to eat them hot. Nah, not anymore. I backed off the heat in my old age. Just can't do it. Cool. Buffalo wings. All right. So I got one of these stripes down. I like that. Can anyone hear my dog snoring? Not super hot. Yeah, that's good. I have the same last name as a band member from Led Zeppelin, too. Yes, Led Zeppelin. God, I love that band. They are so good. Led Zeppelin doesn't get as much credit as they should. Very talented. Very, very talented. I'm the most famous page. Yeah. Yes, you are. No doubt about it. Now, you see what I'm doing here, folks? So this is a double stripe here on his pant leg, the two red, I guess with gold down the middle. But rather than draw the second one, I'm using the same line from from the object I already drew. Can you see this? That way it lines up perfectly. There's no guesswork. I think that's a much better way to render this stuff. Then you've got a nice even line down through here, which is what you want. Why do that manually? That makes no sense. Why try and draw the exact same profile when you can just copy it? Copy. That's the thing about Adobe Illustrator. The more you copy, the better your artwork looks and the easier it is. How many things in life can you cheat and it be better on two different factors: faster and better quality? Man, when I worked, when I did artwork for textbooks, we called it a border. We just put all the stuff we would reuse on one document, and we would start a new file. We would copy that document, duplicate it, rename it, open it, and we'd have all of our stuff we've drawn there. We would just kind of reposition them around and use them again. Yeah, that's what I love about programs like this, like Adobe Illustrator. Just cheat. The more you cheat, the better it is. Cheating is desired. Sorry, I do that a couple times a session. Yeah, Larry Page. My neighbor here who lives a couple streets over, good friends with, his daughter got hired at Google, and she's an executive. She has a team of people underneath her, and she works security. I'm like, I keep asking him, does she have meetings with Larry Page or Sergey Brin? Who's that, Matt? I'm like, those are the founders. He's, I don't know, probably. She gets sent to other countries where they're, installing servers, and yeah, I was like, Man, that must be a cool job. Tell my missus that. Ha ha. Says Jamie. Jamie, you have a missus? I'd love to meet the missus. Bring her to the States next time you head over. Or if I ever get to the UK, if it's okay with you. I'd like to meet the missus. I like that page that folds out, the one with the girl with the staple in her navel. He on a commercial. So now they're talking about something in the chat that I'm just not following, which is fine. Chat rooms are there to chat. I encourage all kinds of banter in my chat room. It's all good. I want to join these two lines. See what I did there? I go the view, outline, preview. Sometimes when things are hard to kind of discern, you just swap your view. All right, now I should be able to. Yep, look at that. There's my other. What is this? Ah, I don't want that. Join. There we go. Ooh, Jamie says, of course, that's good. And see, this is the real reason I wanted to do this by hand. Because look at this belt. It's got the nice grommets, got the square buckle. Look at what the internet gives you. Like that's what they do for the belt. I'm just like, no, there's a lot of awesomeness happening there. I want all that good stuff to show. If not, we shall collab. Awesome. Anytime, Jamie. Always up for some collabs. See what I did here? Rather than draw these two by hand like this. See, I could get it askew like that. So rather than take the chance, I just rotated that shape. And now I know they're parallel to each other. These two are parallel, and then these two are parallel. Just something a little nice I did there. And these, I think I might even make ellipses since they kind of turn around his body there. And you want to rotate that just a bit. Now these more straight on and not so elliptical. Get out the scale tool. There we go. And I don't know why these are outlined. I'll just make these fills. Well, that one didn't do it. There we go. And get back my paintbrush tool. See if I can kind of make this good. Remember, I'm just painting in the shadows. There we go. Do my rounded corners. Don't like that. Are you using a pencil like Sarah, or do you use the mouse? I am using my Wacom tablet right now, so I have the pencil. So I got my tablet out and my stylus, and that's what I'm using. Like Sarah. One of these little advertisements is the show that I did with Sarah. You can go back on the back catalog and look at the show where we did a Illustrator collab here. It was a lot of fun. And to find the back catalog, go to Awesome Wood Things Facebook page, and I have posted all. You can just have to go back through the history, or you can be a $1 or more patron on the Awesome Wood Things Patreon page, and I have the whole catalog of these recorded sessions. These live sessions, they go unlisted on the Awesome Wood Things channel. So, and Patreon's a fun way to get there. And I have three patrons now. I've got Javier Unzuela from Javi's Woodshop. I've got Mike Laffey from the Maybe podcast, and Jerry Brown from Polly Once a Crafter. Those are my three. I've got three patrons, and I appreciate their support. All right, it's a little bit after. So I usually end on the hour, but I'm going pretty good here. Should I keep going, folks? What do you think? Want to hang around and watch Freddie Mercury come to life? So this shirt is kind of interesting, the way these shadows play off each other. Oh, man. See how like this wrinkle here is like catching the light like right through here? I think that's cool. Oh, JP saw the episode with Sarah. That was fun. I have to try and get her back. Should I get her back on? Is she a good guest to collab with here on the Illustrator series? I know she was away a couple weeks ago at a conference on one of the cons with her company, which sounds amazingly fun. Oh my God. She's got like some of the best job ever. Anyway, yeah, I asked her to be on, and she's like, "Oh, I'm at this convention, so I'll get it back on." Yeah, always fun with Sarah. Never a dull moment. I agree. I love creative people. I think that's why the maker community is in part so awesome, because the people in it are creative. They are creative. You know, people think, "Oh, I'm in a wood shop, and I'm not that." No, we're all artists. Love that. I love artists. I love the maker community because we're all creative people. And I love, I don't know. Creative people are the coolest people out there. Hey, quick announcement. Wednesday, I will be on Brenda G's Designs channel. She has a hangout at, I think, 9 Eastern, and it's going to be on YouTube Analytics. So I am going to do a 2-hour presentation on YouTube Analytics. I think the URL will be available this evening, so I can't point you to a URL. But if you're not following Brenda G's Designs, BRENDAGS space Designs, look at that YouTube channel. I'll be on her channel 9 p.m. Wednesday on YouTube Analytics. That's 2 a.m. UK time. Yeah, I know. Sucks. Oh, you have entered the podcast's huge giveaway yet? Oh, have I entered the podcast huge giveaway? No, I'll have to do that. I'll definitely have to do that. But yeah, I'll be talking YouTube Analytics over there. And there are two YouTube Analytics that matter. Only two. The rest you can almost completely ignore. Two things. If you nail just two of the whole, like how many analytics are there? 3 dozen? Two of them. Two of them are the ones you got to keep an eye on. And I will be addressing that topic. And I'll tell you which two they are Wednesday at 9 p.m. on Brenda G. And if you miss the live show, it is public on her channel afterwards, unlike this show, which goes unlisted. So just copy this URL if you want to go back and watch the beginning if you missed anything. So I will be doing that. And I think we'll wrap it up here. I'm going to work on Freddie some more during the week. And I think I'll pick this up next week. We'll have a lot more done. And then you'll get to see the comparison of the internet's version of a Freddie Mercury silhouette and my version of a Freddie Mercury silhouette. JP says, okay, I'll stay up late. Hey, Dave's here from Portal Woodworks. Hello. Hey, I had an opportunity to give the piece of hardware that you gave me to give to Doc Hildebrandt, Jared Hildebrandt. But I didn't bring it to New York because I saw him in New York at Tony Rouleau's slip and slide party, but I forgot to bring it. And then I was 15 minutes away from his house on Saturday. I was at the Iron Pigs baseball game near where he lives. He's like, I'm going to be out of town that day. So he said, don't bring it up. So I'm going to give it to him, Dave. I will definitely do that. All right. So yeah, check me out Wednesday on Brenda G's channel talking about YouTube analytics. More Freddie Mercury next week. And I think we'll wrap that up here. And remember, if you want me to cover any specific topic on these Learn Adobe Now sessions, just let me know. And I think we'll end that here. Did everyone see before we go, my whirligig? Isn't it cool? Line art. It's line art turned into vinyl. Anyway, I got to figure out a way to get that mounted outside. I think that's cool. God, I love Mario. Oh, and this TV. Check out this TV. I finally got all of the cables behind the drywall. So look, there's no cable there. And since my son's going off to college, I got the Wii U. So I got the Wii U hooked up to it. And underneath the desk, I've got the Nintendo Classic, that little $60 game station, HDMI. It's got 30 or 40 Nintendo Classic games. And I've got the Super NES Classic, this one. You know, the Super NES. So I've got two vintage game stations, well, the remakes of the vintage game stations and the Nintendo Wii U all hooked up to there. And it's got Roku built in on the remote. And the fully articulating arm, I can, mount that flat against the wall. So that was my little remodeling project here in the office. I got that working really nice. I was happy with that. But yeah, they have 3 HDMI cables and a longer power cord behind the drywall so you can't see it. And the power cord that came with that was like a 4.5-foot power cord. Who puts a 4.5-foot power cord on a television? I threw it in the garbage and got a 10-foot on Amazon for like $11. I'm like, Christ. But anyway, I was really happy with that. But now he has 2 holes in his wall. Yes, but I have the gang plate. Like I have a nice plate that has so it's not just nasty hole in the drywall. It actually has like a little plastic cover and it looks, it's nice. It's nice. It's nice. I'm happy with that. It's the little things in life, right? All right, folks. Line art rules, JPEGs drool. I love my line art people. Oh, sorry I'm late. Russ is here. Russ, we're jumping off. Copy the URL and go back and watch it because this will go unlisted once I turn it off. But yeah. Hey, Russ, don't forget, I don't know if you heard, Brenda G, Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern, Brenda G's channel. I'm going to be the co-host. I'm going to do YouTube analytics, and I'm going to say which 2 pieces of analytics, only 2 out of the 30 some that they have, or maybe even over 30, 2 are the important ones you got to pay attention to, and you can almost ignore everything else. I'll tell you which 2 they are. There's only 2. You nail these 2, you'll be featured or even front paged. 2, just 2 pieces of analytics. I'll let you know which 2 they are. But I think we'll wrap it up here, and I'll work on this Freddie Mercury line art during the week, and we'll see if what I do turns out better than what the internet does, because I don't like this internet version of my silhouette of Freddie Mercury. I think I can do a better job, and that's what I'm going to do. You can't have analytics without ticks. Well, that's a good that's a good point there, Jim. All right, Dave, Steve, Russ, Frankie, JP, Rob. Tech stuff was here a little bit. Enjoyed having you. Keep moving forward with the line art, and don't be afraid of Illustrator. Got to kick its butt. You're the boss. Use the tips I tell you. You'll be good to go. All right, folks, signing off. Take care.